up guys, EJ here, back with another video, and today it's going to be my Blu-ray DVD collection for 2020 and the Western section. So starting off, up first we have 310s of Yuma, terrific film from 2007 by James Mangold with Russell Crowe and Christian Bale. Fantastic performance by Ben Foster in this one particularly. Up next we have the Alamo from 1960 with John Wayne, Richard Widmark, Lawrence Harvey, and Richard Boone. And I also got the 2004 remake with Dennis Quaid and Billy Bob Thornton, Jason Patric, and Patrick Wilson. Up next we have American Outlaws from 2001. This is a weird, I'm just looking at this picture in the midst of this cover. It's kind of weird. Colin Farrell and Scott Conn, Ali Larter. This and I think Texas Rangers came out the same year. I mean, these are not the greatest westerns. I don't have that other one, but I did enjoy American Outlaws. Up next we have Appaloosa from 2008 with Viggo Mortensen, Ed Harris, Renee Zellweger, Jeremy Irons. Another one of my DVDs that still has like remnants of tape on it. Up next we have The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Always a fun title to get through. Yeah, Brad Pitt and Casey Affleck. I really liked it from 2007. The title is a problem. I'm not gonna lie. Up next we have Bend of the River from 1952 with Jimmy Stewart, Julia Adams, and Rock Hudson. Up next we have Blazing Saddles, Mel Brooks classic, of course, from 1974, 30th anniversary special edition. Gotta love Blazing Saddles. Up next we have Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the Ultimate Collector's Edition. My all-time favorite Western, Robert Redford and Paul Newman. Fantastic film directed by George Roy Hill. Absolutely love this film from 1969. Up next we have Cat Ballou from 1965, special edition with Lee Marvin and Jane Fonda. Up next we have Cimarron, special edition. Yeah, early, I believe this was Oscar winner for Best Picture back in like 1931. Up next we have the Cowboys from 1972, another John Wayne classic. Alright guys, moving on. Up next we have Cowboys and Aliens from 2011 with Harrison Ford, Daniel Craig, Olivia Wilde, extended edition. Not great, but I still enjoyed it. Up next we have Dances with Wolves, fantastic, of course, special edition, Kevin Costner, just a classic from 1990, one of my all-time favorites. I still remember when I saw that in the theaters when I was 12 years old. Some scenes definitely shocked me at that age, but it's a great movie. Up next we have Django Unchained, of course Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, Leo DiCaprio, Christoph Waltz, Jamie Foxx, Kerry Washington, Samuel L. Jackson from 2012. Terrific. Up next we have El Dorado from 1967, another John Wayne classic, also starring Robert Mitchum. Up next we have the Man with No Name trilogy, Clint Eastwood, of course. A Fistful of Dollars from 1964. For a Few Dollars More from 1965. And my favorite of the three, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly from 1966. Sergio Leone, just fantastic spaghetti westerns. Absolutely brilliant films. Up next we have Fort Apache from 1948, another one of these. I've got a lot of John Wayne collection movies. Yeah, terrific film with Henry Fonda, Shirley Temple. Really enjoyed that one. Up next, we have Hang 'em High from 1968 with another great Clint Eastwood film. Up next, we have The Hateful Eights, another Tarantino film. I wouldn't say a classic. Of all his films, this is probably my second to last favorite. I put this ahead of Death Proof. But all his other films I like more than The Hateful Eight. But still a great fun movie. Samuel L. Jackson, Kurt Russell. I thought Jennifer Jason Leigh was really good in this. Bruce Dern, Tim Roth, from 2015. Up next, we have High Noon, one of my all-time favorite westerns with Gary Cooper and Grace Kelly, absolute classic from 1952. Up next, we have High Plains Drifter from 1973, classic Clint Eastwood, of course, one of these Universal 100th anniversary editions. Up next, we have Hondo from 1953, special collector's edition. Up next, we have Hostels from 2017. I like this film a lot with Christian Bale and Rosamund Pike. I thought it was pretty decent. Up next, we have How the West Was Won from 1963, 3-disc special edition, all-star cast, as you might expect from these films in the 60s. Up next on Blu-ray, we have Jane Got a Gun from 2016 with Natalie Portman. Wasn't too bad from what I remember. Always a big fan of Natalie Portman, and I thought she was just fine in that. Up next, we have Jeremiah Johnson from 1972. This makes me smile a bit because of the meme, the Robert Redford meme that you always see on Twitter. But yeah, good film from Sidney Pollack. More of a sort of survival story western than a sort of shoot 'em up type. Up next, we have The Lone Ranger from 2013 with Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer. The only big problem with this is the movie was more focused on Johnny Depp's character than the actual Lone Ranger himself. But I love the ending and the music when it finally kicks in and he's riding the horse on the train. That's a really good scene. But you have to wade through a lot of crap to get there. Up next, we have the original The Magnificent Seven from 1960. Fantastic movie with Yul Brynner, Eli Wallach, Steve McQueen. Nice 3-disc collector's edition here. And I also got the 2016 remake, The Magnificent Seven, with Denzel, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke. It was perfectly fine as remakes go, considering Magnificent Seven is a remake of Seven Samurai to begin with. All enjoyable films. Up next, we have another John Wayne classic, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, co-starring Jimmy Stewart, of course, from 1962. Alright guys, moving on. Up next, we have Maverick from 1994. Okay, Richard Donner film, starring Mel Gibson, Jodie Foster, and James Garner. Up next, we have The Missing from 2003, widescreen special edition. Yeah, good film with Cate Blanchett and Tommy Lee Jones, directed by Ron Howard. Hostels is a very similar film to that one. Up next, we have My Darling Clementine from 1946, I believe, with Henry Fonda. Really good. Up next, we have Ned Kelly, good Aussie film about the Kelly Gang from 2004 with Heath Ledger and Orlando Bloom, Naomi Watts, Jeffrey Rush. Really enjoyed that film a lot. Up next, we have Once Upon a Time in the West, special collector's edition, absolute classic from Sergio Leone, 1969 with Henry Fonda, Charles Bronson, Jason Robards, Claudia Cardinale. Ugh. Up next, we have Open Range from 2003, 2-disc collector's edition. Yeah, really good late Kevin Costner Western with Robert Duvall and Annette Bening. Like that film a lot. Up next, we have the Outlaw Josie Wales, Clint Eastwood classic from 1976. Actually, let's put that up there. These are a little tight. So up next, we have the Oxbow Incident from 1943, another great film starring Henry Fonda. Up next, we have Pale Rider, another great Clint Eastwood film from 1985. Yeah, I remember seeing this when I was a kid. Yeah, that was really sort of one of my first introductions to westerns back then, that movie. Up next, we have Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid from 1973, great film by Sam Peckinpah, 2-disc special edition with James Coburn, Chris Christopherson, and the great Bob Dylan. Up next, we have The Proposition, great Aussie Western from 2005 with Guy Pearce, Ray Winston, Danny Houston, John Hurt, David Wenham, and Emily Watson. Up next, we have The Quick and the Dead from 1995, one of the funnest Westerns you'll see. Not great, but still loads of fun. Yeah, young Leo DiCaprio, Russell Crowe, Gene Hackman, Sharon Stone. One of the few westerns where the female is the actual lead. Sharon Stone is basically the lead in that film. Up next, we have The Revenant from 2015. Absolutely loved this film. My favorite movie of that year. Directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu. Fantastic cinematography. Great performance by Leo DiCaprio. Tom Hardy, terrific. The bear attack scene, the ending fight scene, just a visceral experience watching The Revenant. I absolutely love that film. Up next, we have Ride the High Country, another great Sam Peckinpah film from 1962 with Randall Scott and Joel McCrea. Up next, we have Rio Bravo from 1959, 2-disc special edition with John Wayne, Dean Martin, Ricky Nelson, one of the best westerns of the 50s. Another great film from the 50s, Rio Grande from 1950 with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. Next, we have Rio Lobo from 1970, another one of these John Wayne classics. Not my favorite John Wayne film, but still pretty decent. Up next, we have Seraphim Falls from 2007, I believe. Yeah, underrated film with Liam Neeson and Pierce Brosnan. Who's the woman in this? The main, I'm trying to remember. Angelica Houston. Yeah, she makes a really good appearance in that film. Up next, we have The Searchers from 1956, absolute classic, one of the all-time greats. John Wayne, of course, 50th anniversary 2-disc special edition. Great film by John Ford. Up next, we have Shane from 1953. Yeah, Alan Ladd and Jean Arthur, Van Heflin, fantastic film. Up next, we have Shanghai Noon. Yeah, fun movie with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson, Lucy Liu from 2000. Like I said, I have Shanghai Nights. Showed that off in my action collection. Alright guys, moving on down. Up next we have She Wore a Yellow Ribbon. Another great John Wayne classic from 1949. Up next, we have Shenandoah from 1965 with Jimmy Stewart. A lot of Jimmy Stewart, John Wayne, and Clint Eastwood in my Western collection. Up next, we have The Shootist from 1976. I believe this is the last film John Wayne made before he died. Yeah, co-starring the great Lauren Bacall. Really enjoyed that one. Up next, we have Silverado from 1985. Yeah, Lawrence Kasdan film. Kevin Kline, Scott Glenn, Rosanna Arquette. Jeff Goldblum, Danny Glover, Brian Dennehy, Kevin Costner, John Cleese. Up next we have The Sons of Katie Elder from 1965, John Wayne and Dee Martin. Up next we have Stagecoach from 1939, fantastic, one of my all-time favorite westerns, 2-disc special edition, John Wayne and Claire Trevor, directed by John Ford. Fantastic film. I also have this on Criterion Collection. Up next we have Tombstone from 1993, Vista series, nice edition here with Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer. Fantastic movie, of course, about the OK Corral, Doc Holliday, and so on. Up next we have the original True Grit from 1969 with John Wayne, Kim Darby, and Glenn Campbell. And I also got the Coen Brothers remake from 2010, a terrific film with Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, and Josh Brolin. And of course, star-making performance by the young Haley Steinfeld. Really enjoyed her in this, and she's been a good little actress ever since. Up next, we have Unforgiven, Clint Eastwood's masterpiece, of course, from 1992. 2-disc special edition. Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, Richard Harris. Just a fantastic film, one of my all-time favorites. Excuse me. Speaking of masterpieces, I would say this is Sam Peckinpah's masterpiece, The Wild Bunch from 1969, 2-disc special edition. William Holden, Ernest Borgnine, Robert Ryan, just a fantastic film. Alright, up next we have Winchester 73 from 1950, another great Jimmy Stewart film with Shelley Winters. Up next we have Wyatt Earp. Similar film to Tombstone, a little bit more bloated than Tombstone was. 2-disc special edition from 1994 with Kevin Costner, Dennis Quaid, and Gene Hackman. And last but not least, finishing off westerns, we have maybe the official Brat Pack Western to go along with Memphis Belle as the Brat Pack war movie, Young Guns from 1988. Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, Charlie Sheen, Dermot Mulrooney, KZ Semezko. Really good fun. I don't have Young Guns 2. I don't know why, but I just don't have it. So there you go. That is Western. So that will complete my genres. Up next will be my Criterion Collection, which is basically the whole second half of this bookshelf. I'll probably try and do this in 3 or 4 videos. We'll see. It'll be 3, maybe 4, we'll see. So thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see you.
James Bond.